We're going to move on to the last thing of the day we're going to talk about, and that is the early critical reception to Ant-Man 3. Now, we know Ant-Man 3 Quantumania comes out later this Friday.
Comes out tomorrow for me.
Comes out tomorrow for most people, the Thursday preview. I'm actually getting to see a preview tonight at the theater.
Nice.
After the show's over. So I'm excited for that.
So we know who ain't sticking around for no after.
He said, I'm going to get out of here.
But the critical reception to Ant-Man 3 hasn't been very good, and currently it's sitting at 53% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, all of us here at Culture Junkies Live actually don't give a damn what the critics say.
Yep.
We always say go see it for yourself and judge for
Absolute.
yourself. But this can't be what they were expecting to get right out of the gate.
Look,
is this, is this a bad sign for the future of
Nope.
Phase 5 because it's just starting here? Or is it just too much of an expected departure of from the Ant-Man norm for the critics to really kind of get it? Because they say, Quantumania is kind of weird, takes place in the quantum realm and all this other kind of stuff. And maybe they just didn't get it.
Look,
What do you guys think?
Jay-Z made a song called Haters, and they said they're hating. There's people out there that do review bombing. A lot of people didn't understand what was going on in Marvel volume phase 4, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, well, I don't like blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Okay. You can have whatever opinion you want. You don't have to like everything that everybody else likes. But sometimes I feel like going out of your way to try to, make it look like it's doing bad by doing review bombs or I don't know. I mean, movie reviewers, I don't look at anything until after I watch the movie because then I can understand why they said that. And for me, when I get out of a movie, like there was only one Marvel movie I walked out of and I felt disappointed, and it was really the Avengers 2. Like when I walk out of a movie, it's a feeling, and I get the feeling that you have. I can describe that feeling because like you had the first Avengers and all this stuff was brand spanking new and all this stuff. And the second Avengers, they didn't even try to recreate that, and they did a lot of stuff that kind of felt like what was the point? But you go back and look at Avenger 2 now, and then you can see some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was a broader thing, a broader picture that was put together.
Yep.
And you see it, and it made, to me, the movie better afterwards. But, like, a lot of people, I think they're going in expecting all these big drops, and they're expecting all this stuff to happen because it did happen in the past, and they can't fathom that this right here is just telling a new story that might lead to something in the future. And I think it's very short-sighted. A lot of people, I think, when they watch these things, are short-sighted when they look at a lot of this stuff. So I first off, don't ever trust reviewers because there's a lot of movies out there that are regarded as classics now that were shit on when they first came out.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of them.
You mean like Big Trouble in Little China?
That was one of them, but like I wasn't even old enough to go see Big Trouble in Little China when that came out. I mean, I could have. I guess my parents could have took me if they cared. Probably did.
If they cared. I love that he said that.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, we talk about Michael Keaton. Everybody, Michael Keaton, best Batman. I remember being in a comic book store at 9 farting years old,
Dude,
and people were hating on freaking Keaton.
I remember people talking about it on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, morning
Hating
talk
on
show radio and everything. They were like, Mr. Mom is going to be Batman?
Yeah.
How's that going to work out?
Mhm.
So
Here we are 40 some odd years later, and guess what? He's still Batman. So it's like,
don't
Right.
trust.
It's like
That's
people
what
say
don't
he's the
listen
best
to those
Batman,
people.
you know,
Stop being
depends
so
on-
short-sighted at
Right.
stuff. Try to look at stuff. I don't know, man. I can't tell people how to watch movies, how they want to watch movies.
Right.
I'm not gonna watch movies like how other people watch movies. I watch movies for the entertainment first off because I want to feel entertained.
Yep.
I don't put my heart and soul into a movie because I didn't make it. It doesn't affect me anything how much money they make and how much money they don't make.
Mhm.
And I just want to be entertained. I watch bad movies to be entertained. Ain't none of y'all out there ever watch Clownado.
All right. GQ, but this is the reason it's a little bit alarming is because these are critics. These are people that normally are highly receptive to MCU movies, but they're kind of like not really feeling this one. I'm not saying you should be worried, but why do you think the reason is that they might not be feeling Ant-Man Quantumania, whereas they were feeling other MCU movies?
I think they have gotten to. Here's the thing about being a critic. You are expected to, give this, have this particular expertise. I guess is one way to say it. I think Quantumania is probably doing something that they didn't expect. It's leaving them high and dry, and they don't know which way this could be going from, going next. At least with like the first phase. Every movie was leading up to the first Avengers. Everybody knew that. Every single after credit sequence was the tease for the next movie, to the next this, to the next this, to the next this, whatever. I think with Ant-Man, because here's one thing if you have to notice about Ant-Man, and I'm Minority Game. I'm surprised you said you haven't watched any of them. Watch this one. Watch the other ones. They're all good. Every single Ant-Man has come at the right after an Avengers movie, essentially, with the exception of this one. The first one came right after whatchamacallit, Age of Ultron. Second one came right after Infinity War. And of course that was the fallout of the snap, so it's like, well, okay, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is the first time it's not really following an Avengers movie. It kind of is in the seat of an Avengers movie. Yeah, what's that?
The second one's right before.
Right before what?
Because the snap happened at the end of Ant-Man.
No. And
did it come out before Ant-Man 2?
No, it came out after Infinity War.
It did come out after.
Yes.
Yeah,
did.
because remember it was because that was
time frame.
Yeah, that was its after credit sequence of Yeah.
Okay.
The time, you're right. It took place, during essentially.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I got what you're saying.
Time frame.
Yeah.
Actual release.
Actual release, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I think this is the first time that Ant-Man is basically being put in the driver's seat of, no, you're the Avengers movie and everything else is going to come after this. So I think that's and to me it's like, look, as a person that likes movies, I don't need to it's like I just need to just sit there and enjoy it. Tell me whatever story you're going to tell. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But I think they're approaching it with such crazy expectations. It's like, dude, go sit there and watch what happens. Don't go in there saying they need to put this in, because it's like, you're a critic. You're not a filmmaker. Go sit there and watch what they give you and take your expectations out of it. But it's like, again, and I'm not going to read any of the reviews, like Dado said, until after I see it for myself, because I don't want to hear anything anybody disliked or said, and because it's like, no, I'm going to go see it and experience it for myself, and then, give my 2 cents.
100%. Go see it with unbiased eyes. Don't let anybody else's, opinions sway you on whether you enjoy the movie or not. Go, like we said, our cardinal rule is judge for yourselves. Even if you're good buddies here at the Culture Junkies, we tell you this is awesome.